happy to be here again. And I made this at a little different time than usual so that maybe some of you who don't get to come on live with me will have a chance. If you don't know who I am, I'm Barbara Dahm. I am a speech clinician who does things a bit differently. And I also developed dynamic stuttering therapy that is a very unique way of treating stuttering. Actually, treating people who stutter. I don't like to say treating stuttering because it's the person that we treat. And really, changing stuttering involves changes within the person. There's no quick cure or trick for getting rid of stuttering, but there is so much that you can do, and there is a way. And that brings me to what I wanted to talk to you about today, and that is the evidence that if you stutter today, there is evidence that you can speak freely. You really can. And you know what? The thing is, you really have it in you today. This isn't a skill that you have to learn. And what is my evidence? Well, first of all, first piece of evidence is that whether you stutter very severely or you're a covert, I think in England you say internal, no, I don't know what the term is in England, sorry, but we call it, in the United States, we call it covert stuttering, where you stutter, you feel it inside, but people don't necessarily see it. And I'm not talking about that kind of fluency. I'm not saying that is an example or evidence that you can speak freely, because that isn't speaking freely. But whether you do stutter covertly, or whether you stutter severely, or anywhere in between, there are times that you really speak freely. Now, it may be minimal times. It may be just maybe when you're swearing, you know, did you ever just forget you were talking and you dropped something and broke it all over the place, and what did you say? Well, we're not going to say that here, star, 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 but anyway, in those times, that's what I mean by natural fluency. Fluency that you're not trying to make it fluent. You're not trying to do something. It's just that you speak without even realizing that you're speaking. And write down here in the comments if there are times, and maybe even identify some of the times, that you really do speak without any problem whatsoever. It just flows. Now, it could be that you do it when you're alone, and it could be you do it when you're doing automatic speech, like counting, although a lot of people still stutter when they count. It could be for a number of other fluency enhancing conditions. And we know there are conditions that you do speak fluently in them. One of them is choral reading. It's known that people who stutter don't usually stutter when they're reading with other people. There can be exceptions to this, but speaking with animals, with your cat, and with children, babies very often. When you're oochie-poochie-coo and speaking to a little baby, then you very often have these fluency moments where you are perfectly fluent. And then we all know that that when you sing, you usually don't stutter. And we've heard on The Voice and American America's Got Talent and all that. There's somebody who gets on and is stuttering very nicely in public, which is great. That's good for all of us to see. But they get up and they sing, and they don't stutter while they're singing, of course, and they make such a big thing out of this. Well, you and I know that this is really a very regular situation. Also, what are some of the other times that, even with a 2-year-old, you're with your grandson, and that you speak without any problem. So if you can do that, you know that the fluency is inside you. Hey, you wouldn't be doing it. And to get back to singing, there's something in singing, about singing, that lets the system work. So the hard words, those words that you couldn't say for the life of you, and you sing them, why can you sing those same words? We got to learn from this. And these fluency enhancing conditions, why do they enhance it? What is the issue here? Well, I'm going to be talking a lot about that in my upcoming webinar, the Do-It-Yourself Guide for Speaking Naturally. And I will talk to you more about the system and why these things happen. And there's good reason. And if we learn from them, we can help our system to work as a fluency enhancer all the time. But you have to understand what's going on so we can bring out this natural fluency that's in you and make it more a part of who you are and not let the interferences affect you. That's really what we want to do. So, somebody says they used to stutter when in Lavina, when you had to sing solo. That's interesting, but you probably got over that. You said you used to. Well, when you're making a video and you're talking and nobody listens, that's interesting, because I find making videos harder than talking to other people. It took me a long time to learn to make a video. Those are all really good times. And so, guys, you know you've got it in you. And I really want to show you that. I really want to show you that there's a way, that it doesn't have to be just at these times. It doesn't have to be just when you're speaking to a child. You can speak to a boss the same way. If you understand what causes it to be different in this situation than that situation. And I'm going to give you one more piece of evidence that it can be done. And this just came up yesterday. I got a phone call from a woman who is the mother of a client of mine back 22 years ago. He was a boy then, a teen, and he stuttered quite a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember whether it was moderate or severe, but it wasn't mild, that's for sure. And he did therapy with me. Now, the mother called me up because she said she and her son, who's now married, were sitting in a restaurant, and in walked a television presenter, who had interviewed him shortly after he had been in therapy. It was a program for kids called Big People in Life, or Doing Great Things. I can't translate the exact name of it. But anyway, it was a program about kids who did great things. And he was interviewed for how he got over his stuttering. And when that presenter walked into the restaurant where they were sitting, they started talking about me, and this boy, who's now a man and has a baby, told his wife he used to stutter. And she was amazed. And so they called me and just wanted to touch base and tell me about what had happened in the restaurant. It was a great story, but I thought I'd bring it up to you today because it's just one. And I get stories like this every so often somebody comes into my life that had been my client a long time ago. So there are a lot of people like this, and they do speak naturally. And also people who weren't my clients, I know lots of professors in this field who say that they stuttered until they were in their 20s or so, and then they, for some reason, they got over it. They still call themselves people who stutter, but I mean, I've spent many, many hours with them, and they actually don't stutter now when they speak. So whether you call yourself a person who stutters or not, that's immaterial. It's the fact of the matter is that they do speak freely. So these are the proofs, and it's good to know, isn't it? Don't you think it's great to know, and great to know that you can do it? Yeah, because you can. And I want to be your guide along the way. I love it. When I have a bad day, I just get on a session or start talking with some of the people that I work with, and the whole day gets great. So I hope that you will join me for my webinar. It's the Do-It-Yourself Guide to Speaking Freely, and I can't remember, I think I remember the link, but we'll post it below. But anyway, it's www.members.nostut.speakingfreely. Okay, got it. And I hope you'll join me. It's going to be really fun. There are different times. I have times for different time zones, so join whichever is convenient for you, and I hope to see you there. So Adam, you say the video isn't working for you. I don't know why. I think it's working. It's working for other people. Okay, well, Adam, you'll be able to see this. It'll be posted on this page, so you'll be able to see it there. Okay, and I'm looking forward to seeing you, Adam, at the webinar, and all the rest of you too. So bye for now, and post me questions if you want me to talk about any subject. I'd be happy, as long as it's related somehow to stuttering and all that. Okay, see you soon. Gotta run. Bye-bye.